Hey, what's up, everybody? Another great episode of Fourth Person Point of View, baby. Today, I want to talk about something, but first, let me play you something. I guess that was a hint. Today, I want to talk about the egg crisis, the egg shortage. So, if you've been living in the United States, you know that we are dealing with an egg shortage right now. Now, a lot of people probably are wondering what's causing this egg problem. So, I'm going to tell you. A lot of people think it's coming from this economy that's kind of rocky right now, but it's not. Actually, the egg shortage is coming from the bird flu. Now, from a fourth person perspective, maybe the egg shortage is a good thing because you need to watch your damn cholesterol anyway. But on the flip side, the egg shortage is caused because of the bird flu. So you have two types of bird flu. You have the H5N1 and the H7N9, and that's determined by the protein cells on the virus. Now, there have been 35 million birds that were culled, that's the proper term, because they were infected with the bird flu. Now, from the fourth person perspective over here, I care more about the bird flu than I do the shortage of eggs. I guess you can say I think on a dependent variable instead of the independent variable. But this bird flu thing is a problem. Let me tell you why. So bird flu is one of those viruses that can jump from animals to humans. There are 70 cases of humans with the bird flu and one death. Now, 70 might be a small number, especially when you compare that to the population size of America, which is around 330 million, give or take. 70 is not a big number, but my concern is what it could become. Now, the bird flu problem is a growing problem right now. Then when you factor in down in West Texas, you have over 130 cases of the measles outbreak. You see where I'm going with this? So we got a virus, we got two viruses. We have measles and bird flu that are taking off. Now, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know if the two viruses can come together and make a baby and call, what would that be, like bird measles or some shit? I don't know if that's possible. It could be, but if it can happen, that's a bad thing. But let me read you something here. So this right here is coming from the CDC, cdc.gov. So it says H5 bird flu, the current situation, what to know. H5 bird flu is widespread in wild birds worldwide and is causing outbreaks in poultry and U.S. dairy cows, with several recent human cases in U.S. dairy and poultry workers. While the current public health risk is low, CDC is watching the situation carefully and working with states to monitor people with animal exposures. CDC uses its flu surveillance systems to monitor for H5 bird flu activity in people. Now, like I said earlier, and like I just read, there are outbreaks in dairy cows. And so if it's in dairy cows, I'm sure it could be spread to other cows, which could trickle into a virus in the cattle that causes a shortage in beef. And if you remember, we had a shortage of rain last year, and a lot of the ranchers ended up selling their cows, I think. But this can be something bad, because bird flu that can transfer to animals and humans, that's not a good thing. Let's see something else here. So, more than 35 million birds have been killed in response to bird flu outbreaks in commercial flocks this year, according to the USDA. The bird culling has caused the average price for a dozen eggs in the U.S. to hit $5 in January, a 53% increase from 2024. The USDA said prices could rise an additional 41%, which they can. I went to Sam's Club yesterday, and they were completely out of eggs. Then I went to Walmart to pick up some, and they actually had a few, not many. And some of the eggs in Walmart, brown eggs and what they call organic, were $17 and $19. And I'm talking about for 12. So that is one problem. But like I said, my bigger concern is not the shortage of eggs. I care more about getting the bird flu under control, because that's the last thing we need with this measles outbreak. Let me read this. Here we go. I wanted to read something from the USDA. Here we go. USDA. Here we go. So this right here came from D.C. February the 26th. It said U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins today announced a $1 billion comprehensive strategy to curb high pathogenic avian influenza, HPA1, to protect the U.S. poultry industry and lower egg prices. This is in addition to funding already being provided to indemnify growers for depopulated flocks. As the secretary detailed in the Wall Street Journal, the five-pronged strategy includes an additional $500 million for biosecurity measures, $400 million in financial relief for affected farmers, and $100 million for vaccine research, action to reduce regulatory burdens, and exploring temporary import options. Let's go back here. Let's check one more thing here. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for here. So this is the USDA agency report I'm going to read you here. And this is from February. This is as of February 24, 2025. It says the United States egg production totaled 8.86 billion during January 2025, down 4% from last year. Production included 7.57 billion table eggs and 1.30 billion hatching eggs, of which 1.20 billion were broiler type and 100 million were egg type. The total number of layers during January 2025 averaged 363 million, down 4% from last year. January egg production per 100 layers was 2,440 eggs, down slightly from January 2024. All layers in the United States on February the 1st, 2025 totaled 357 million, down 5% from last year. The 357 million layers consisted of 292 million layers producing table or market type eggs, 61.9 million layers producing broiler type hatching eggs, and 3.92 million layers producing egg type hatching eggs. Rate of lay per day on February the 1st, 2025 averaged 78.9 eggs per 100 layers, up slightly from February 1st, 2024. So, as you can see something else, the USDA, they keep track of all this stuff. So, when you talk about immigration and everything, that's something else you have to factor in is our food supply here. Like everything is kind of calculated on a ratio basis based off per person, per what they might need to consume. Everything from their pee to poop, even the oxygen. That's just something I'm throwing out there. But those were some numbers there for some of y'all who want to know more about this egg problem. You can kind of see where we stand compared to last year. There are sources that say there are 100 million Americans on welfare right now because of our economy. So not only is it a problem with the food prices with eggs, people on welfare. So that means they're not too stable. And let's keep in mind that the federal government just laid off a lot of people. So for all y'all who can't get eggs, I'm sorry for you. You can use this as an opportunity to fast and lower your damn cholesterol. That's from the fourth person perspective. But like I said, My biggest concern right now is to get this goddamn bird flu under control, because even though it's only 70 people who have been infected with it, one death, you have to keep in mind, you still have these 130 measles cases down in West Texas and Mexico, and it seems to be growing too. So the last thing we need is for someone from New York to come to Mississippi, Texas, Tennessee, or Virginia on a work trip, business trip, personal trip, or anything, and you hop on an airplane and now you got this virus, because they said some of these viruses stay in the air like for an hour or two. So apparently they don't just die. So you see where I'm going with this? This could be something that's dangerous. So, like I said, you can log on to the CDC's website and the USDA yourself, and they can give you some tips that you should follow in order to kind of like decrease the chances that you might end up with one of these viruses. But on the flip side, man, monitor your children and your pets, because as you can see, pets can be infected with this too. But that's my concern. Eggs are one thing. I can do without eggs for a few mornings. I can always eat oatmeal myself. But my biggest concern was the damn outbreak and the fact that it is in humans now. So not too much. Just wanted to address that issue, and I'm out. This has been another episode of Fourth Person Point of View, baby. I'm out.